Happy Black
History Month.
Hey guys, so it's Christine. Today I have Ellicia Myles with me. So for this month of February, you guys will be basically getting to know Ellicia and her experiences. And this is out of the Strength of Black Women's project that I'm doing. So please, if you haven't looked at the previous video, go ahead and give it some love. But let's get right into the video. Go ahead. All right, Ellicia, tell me about yourself. Tell me your age, where you're from, and like more things, and also something like unique about you.
So I am currently 19 years old.
19, okay.
Well, my full name is Ellicia Myles. I am a second year at DePaul studying computer animation.
That's fun.
What's the other stuff?
Oh, where are you from?
Oh, I'm from central Wisconsin, so a town called Wausau.
Okay, and I think, oh yeah, something unique about you. Your major is not as unique. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Okay.
No, something else unique about you.
Something unique about me. I share a birthday with Paul Rudd, who plays Ant-Man, so.
Okay, that's something unique. Wow, didn't know that. Okay. So I guess my first question would be, you said that you live in a town called Wausau.
Wausau, the dirty saw.
Okay. Can you tell me more about where you live and how it was like, you know, being raised there?
So yeah, Wausau is a town of about 40,000 people.
Okay.
It is, I want to say like 90% white, probably 9% like Hmong, and then 1% like other, and then I get to fit in the nice other category.
Oh, okay. So that's interesting. I know there's probably like a lot of people who live in a predominantly white area or just like a neighborhood. How is it like living there? Like, did you experience any like hate towards your race? Well, first of all, I should also ask your race. I didn't even ask that at first.
Oh, so I identify as like mixed and black.
Okay.
So yes, and then in Wausau, yeah, it was a struggle. I'm gonna say, simply because like in like some areas that are predominantly white, like the population, like their values definitely matter. In Wausau, everyone's very conservative, or like moderate to conservative, and so like their ideas of like what race is, how race affects our life, and like who gets to say what about what offends them, and like what is offensive, like is all determined by like themselves. And so when I was younger, like I didn't necessarily know I was black until someone told me I was black.
Oh wow, interesting.
And they told me I was black by just naming off black stereotypes at me. Like, oh, like, well, first, like, I remember this one girl, she just like asked me, she was like, hey, since you're black, do you get sunburned?
Wow.
First of all, I was so confused because I was like, what are you talking about? Oh, I like didn't even register like the fact that it was like a little bit of a microaggression. I was like, are you stupid? Because I'm skinned, of course I get sunburned.
Wow, unbelievable. Okay.
but as it went on, like it would be like, so
what's your favorite food? It must be fried chicken because you're black. Oh, the reason you love grape soda is because you're black. Yeah. Oh, the reason you're good at basketball is because you're black. And it's like,
and they like would assume like, and like for a while, like that was like my way of being accepted by like people. And so I like went along with it because I was like, oh yeah, well I did love fried chicken because it's good, but I would always like play it up because people like were interested in me, not like me, but like they were interested in me, they're paying attention to me, they wanted to talk to me, and I was not very good at making friends, so like any way that I could get people to just like notice me was like positive.
Right, like you had to be like good within like sports and like within academics for people, so for you to like be known.
Right.
Like that's actually like crazy. I feel like black women and even black people, like they have to work hard in order to be known because they have like, people have these pre-assumptions about like how black people perform, and it's just like it sucks that we have to do that. I guess my next question would be, so I guess what is it like being in a biracial household? Like, is it different, and like how has that like affected you?
Well, I mean, I that's all I've known as a household. So like when I grew up, like I didn't like think of like, oh, this is my white mom, this is like my black dad. I was like, that's mom and dad, and they never like referred to us as their like brown children. You know what I mean? So like we never like grew up in our household ever discussing race to that extent.
Oh, interesting.
And like we never like discussed the fact that like we were like brown or that we were different than the other kids. And so it wasn't like I learned about race from other people.
Right, just outside of the house.
Right. And so like my family never like raised me to like discuss it. Not that they were like hiding it from me, but I just don't think that it was something that was like and like as
it wasn't an issue.
Right. It wasn't ever like my father being black never affected the way that I viewed him. He was always just my dad. He was like,
right.
I still loved him. I still got mad at him because he was being like annoying, or he was being like cool one day, and so that was never like a problem. But like it definitely was like hard going like out in Wassa. Like I realized like looking back now, like people would like stare at our family, and like sometimes they would just like, that was like the worst part, was like the openly staring at my family, and I could see them trying to figure out like
how,
who are these people, and sometimes you could like see they were just like irritated or annoyed or like angry at us for just like existing and being like, when I was out with my mom, like I know some people would like look at her and like look at me and be like,
my goodness.
oh, is that like really, are those brown kids with like curly hair like really her children and stuff like that. So that was like, so like in the household it was like fine and nice, I mean it was no problem, but like outside it was like mostly like outside people that like forced me to recognize that like, oh, my family is different than all the other families that I am surrounded by.
So would you say that like now that you're here in Chicago, like you learned even more stuff about like your identity?
I would say yes. I'd say that like when I was back in Wassa, I definitely tried to like, all I was called was black, so I tried to learn more about being black. What is blackness? And then, but now that I'm here, I'm surrounded by people who are black, and I'm like, well, some of my identity doesn't line up with this. So I've been exploring like, what does it mean to be a mixed person? I'm even in my classes is about like the mixed identity.
Oh, that's nice.
Because like they're both like I said, I identify as like black and like mixed, and so both those identities are like very valid in me, and so I want to make sure that I explore both of them to the fullest.
Yeah, that's a good idea to do too. I feel like some people they are not aware of the experiences that mixed people I guess experience. Like I feel like it's always about like how black people get shamed about, but like you always have to think about mixed people too. Like I feel like people are not aware of that, and I think that people should, and that's one of the reasons why when you applied I was like, oh, this is awesome, because like it's going to change the world.
I don't go that far. I think that's
that's what I'm hoping.
A little extra.
Okay, that's what I'm hoping for this project to be. But I'm trying to think of another question. I asked you about your identity. Well, I guess, is there anything else about your identity that is maybe like different from others? Or like anything that, well, within that question too, like what is your career like goal, and how does that, I guess, affect your identity?
Well, I think like one thing that I've definitely learned about being like mixed, and that I've had to understand, is like as being very open-minded to other people's like experiences that don't directly reflect my own, simply because like I know like I have like two very different identities in society, and they like don't necessarily, they're also not like a complete like my black identity is like what society thinks the black identity should be. My mixed identity might not be necessarily what society wants the mixed identity to be, because like they're all diverse and multifaceted, and it's important to understand that. And so I want to like make animated movies in the future, and so when I do, one of my goals is to bring like stories that have traditionally been on like the margins or traditionally been ignored to like the forefront of mainstream society, to be like, hey, these identities exist, hey, they're important, they're valid, and they need just as much respect as the more like common or mainstream identities.
Wow, that's amazing. That's all I have to say for that. Like, I don't think I know anybody that would actually think of that as like a career goal, and I think it's really important to like bring that like importance of other identities that people may not know about, especially within like a person, or coming from a person who is mixed and a person, or coming from a person who's also like Black. I think that's really amazing. And then lastly, my question would be like, is there any advice that you can give to anybody who is mixed, or just like to a college student within your major too? Because I feel like Black women, or just women in general within your field, is kind of hard. It's really hard. I feel like it's male dominated.
Yeah, it definitely is. One of like the principles in animation, like one of like all like the founding principles in animation were like primarily made by like these animators at Disney, and they're called the 9 Old Men, and it's because like animation was always been predominantly white, male, and then men. You know what I mean? Like not necessarily in the older, and usually from like more like affluent areas. So it's like been a medium that like has literally like actively like prevented people from other like demographics from entering into it. And so like I'm barely in the industry myself, so like advice I would give to people is to like understand that like your ideas are like they're valid just because they don't, and also just because like this space doesn't exist right now, like there's like for what I want to do, there's not like necessarily like a job
Right.
that exists, and it's like I can like neatly fit like, oh, I want to get this job, and so I'm gonna create like that space for myself. And so I think, and that's also what I think can apply to being mixed also, because being mixed is like in mainstream society is just now being like recognized as like, oh, this is like an actual identity that people have,
right?
And people, the categorization of it and stuff isn't necessarily it's not, our system was not made for mixed people. It was made for people to remain separated by race. And so like you're going to be entering into a world, and there's not going to be a space for you, there's not going to be a box for you to fit in,
which is really hard.
So you either have to like ignore all the boxes, or just like make like your own box, or like make your own space for yourself.
Yeah, I think that is really important, and especially just within general, like if you're a college student, I feel that like your major does not have to be your job. It could be a skill that helps you get to what you want to be. And I feel like you could think of like a lot of different careers that may not be as popular. You could think of your own career and get a lot of money, like what Ellicia is trying to do. That's really good. So I guess that is all for today. Guys, I need you to, I guess I'll put your social media down below. And I guess it's the ending for this month of February. Guys, stay tuned for next month. I will be having another wonderful Chicago Black woman, and stay tuned.